All right, people, guys. We are back for another episode of the Geekly Goods Roundup show, y'all. And guys, today we have a special guest that I'm so excited to introduce. But guys, if y'all are watching, Barbie just crossed $1 billion at the box office. It's coming for Mario's crown, baby. Mario, you better watch out. Because remember, y'all, we were talking about Mario a couple months ago and how crazy it was with that box office. And now here we are months later, and Barbie is the one busting down the door. So let's go ahead and witness this crazy history with Barbie crossing $1 billion. We got TMNT coming in at number 4, which is a little disappointing. I mean, our turtles, I feel like, never really have a lot of box office success. I mean, the first Michael Bay one did really well in its opening weekend. The second one, not as much. So it seems like the turtles, like, kind of have this weird box office draw. They do a lot better on TV, but man, Mutant Mayhem was a lot of fun. And if you guys enjoyed it, let us know down in the comments. But let me first get my co-host in here, my host with the most, Loretto. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good evening, sir. It is blazing out here in Northern California, but other than that, I'm doing just peachy, man. How you doing?
Man, he said it is blazing out here, bro. It is actually a little cooler today in Colorado. It's been like straddling the 100s, bro, like 98, 92. Today it's like a crisp 81. And like it's been kind of riding on like the 70s today, too. I was like, all right, Colorado, we're feeling a little good. I got me a little hoodie on. I'm just ready for some better weather, man. It's been so hot over here. But guys, we've got a very special guest tonight from the T3Media Studios YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have him on the channel. We've been talking about a collab for probably about a month and a half, couple months now, but I've been watching his show, The Rundown, over on T3 Medias. You guys definitely got to check it out if you haven't already. But I am so excited to bring in my friend, my great friend here, Chris from T3 Media Studios. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, guys. Hey, you know what? I'm going to have to say this. I might have you guys beat from Colorado to California. Over here in Texas, it's scorching.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh,
I believe it.
the grass has been dead for 3 weeks, and I'm not even worried about it. But hey, I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Nice.
Man, thank you so much.
I've felt that humidity down there. I know what that's like.
Yeah, I'm like, Texas? Nah, man. That's another level of heat down there.
Did you feel it through the lens, through the microphone? You can.
Yes.
Oh, is that my breath? I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it is that heat wave you over in there, man. It just woof, whoosh, came in. All right, we got our man, the Laser, pulled up a little bit early to the stream. What's going on,
What up,
man?
Laser?
He's on vacation, having the time of his life. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming in as usual. And Chris, man, how are things going with you? Tell us a little bit about your channel, where the people can find you, and what you do over at T3 Medias.
Oh man, it is well, I'm Chris, and it's great to be here. I appreciate you guys for having me here. You can always find me. It used to be at T3 Medias with the S at the end. I recently just updated all the socials to at T3, the number 3 Media Studios on all, because my original co-host Amy Newman, she was so upset telling me that that media is already a plural. There's no S. Make that make sense. So now you can find me on T3 Media Studios. It makes a little bit more sense. We talk about entertainment news. We talk about movies. We love talking about everything in the world of pop culture, movies, and having fun. We have a growing cast over here. A growing group of panels. I'm a director. We have a great cast here on the show. We love talking about movies. We love going to events, comic conventions, and things like that. We just vibe and have a good time, man. I just love it, and I appreciate you having me on the show to talk on the run up. I'm used to running it down, but I'm ready to run it up with you.
Thanks for joining us on the roundup, baby. We love to have you.
Round up, ready to round up. Yeah.
And let the people know when your next stream is.
Oh, yeah. So we do a daily show. It's going to be Monday through Friday in the next couple of weeks. But for right now, you can find us on my channel. We do a live show on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and it's around about 8. Oh wait, I'm Central Standard Time, so it's around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we about an hour or so. Me, my wife, my friends, we Like I said, we talk entertainment news, the latest in entertainment news. We talk movie reviews. We go to screenings. We come back and we talk about it and give our thoughts and our 2 cents, whatever that's worth. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But in about a week or so, we'll be live Monday through Friday. So check it out.
You're on mute, brother.
Oh,
appreciate you guys. Definitely be sure to check that out over on the Media Studios. Goodness,
yeah.
T3Media Studios.
It sneaks up on you.
It does. I'm used to that S. I'm used to that sneaky little S. But guys, let's get into our first segment here. Time for Rate Your Hype, guys. Let's rate how much we're anticipating these upcoming movies from 1 to 10, starting off with one trailer we saw this week, Loki Season 2, which Season 2 brings us back to right after Season 1, guys, where Loki will be working with Mobius, Hunter B-15, and other members of the Time Variance Authority to navigate the multiverse in order to find Sylvie, Ravonna Renslayer, and Miss Minutes. We got a new cast member recently from recent fame of oh, nice, Lo. We got a Loki on the stream tonight, y'all. We got a Loki here.
Those variants are everywhere.
But this season will be also starring Ki-Hye Kwan and also returning the cast from the last season as well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Lo, the trailer just dropped, man, this week. What did you think? How did you feel about it? That score to like introduce it and everything, the melodic motif to introduce this trailer was amazing. But what did you think, Lo? 1 to 10, how we feeling?
Is it obvious how much I like Loki? No, but for real, I know, especially after the disappointing, lackluster finale of Secret Invasion, which had so much hype building around it. That MCU hype is kind of low right now. Some people are up and down with the Marvels, but for me, I'm actually really, really looking forward to this. I thought the trailer looked great. I am kind of like wondering where all this money is going, because apparently, did you see the reports on the budget, Leo?
Yeah, it's not that much less than Secret Invasion.
Yeah, it's like both shows are approaching like 200 mil, and I totally get they're trying to maintain the cinematic quality of the MCU, but it's like that's a lot of money for a Disney Plus show. That, you know what I mean? It's like it makes you wonder how much return they're getting on that. But despite all that, I thought it looked great. It's great to see. I love the whole cast. Gugu Mbatha Raw.
Yeah, she's great. Oh man!
And despite the controversy of Mr. Majors, he is a fine actor and he is back as a variant of Kang, and we'll see where that goes. And I shipped Loki and Sylvie from the start, so I can't wait to see where that journey goes. Because if you guys remember the end of Loki, he was in a whole new TVA, man. It was a whole different world. So, and I'm very curious how it's all going to tie in. It looks like he does eventually, hook up with what's his name, Mobius. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but I hope at the end of this one, maybe Mobius gets his jet ski. So we'll see. On a hype meter, I'm at like a 9.
Okay. You sitting at that 9, man. See, I had the unpopular opinion. The first season of Loki started off a little boring to me. I'm not going to front with y'all about the first 2-3 episodes. When they were on that planet that was all purpled out, man, I'm telling y'all, I was near falling asleep in that episode when it premiered. But it did pick up and get so much better after that. Okay. And the last 3 episodes, what was it, 7 total? I think the last 4 episodes were phenomenal.
Time out. You were snoozing when the moon fell apart?
Yes, man. I was like,
come on.
This is some stuff we done seen already. I was just not, I don't know. I was not entertained. But we got to about 4. When all the Lokis came into, when they incorporated the other Loki variants, love that. Man, I had a blast. And Majors, when he did appear, barring the controversy, when he did appear in the last episode of Loki, he did have a lot of presence to bring. Which, seeing this trailer, I was a little surprised. They had a big spot of him, especially after they scrubbed him from the Ant-Man marketing. It just was a little crazy to see. But Chris, how did you feel about this trailer, man? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how you feeling about Loki season 2?
I was a little bit more excited about season 1 than you were. I was right there with you, and then those episodes that you mentioned was what got me excited. Those weren't the snoozers for me. It was maybe episode 1 started off like where can this go? But throughout episode 2 to the finish, I was vibing with Loki. I enjoyed it. So for me, and it's funny whenever I don't know if you know, on my show, whenever anybody says for me, I have a soundboard, and I always capture that for me. That's my Kim Kardashian impression. So making it about myself. For me, I would say that my hype for this trailer, seeing this trailer, I would say that it started off at a 6, but as Mr. Kwan descended from the sky, it kept going 7, 8. And it hit about an 8.5, like a 9. I'm at a 9 on the hype because that was like, that was awesome. After seeing him in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I was so excited to see him in this trailer. I was like, this season is going to be amazing. I can't wait to get back into this season. And I'm looking forward to it. My hype is about a 9. I'm at a 9, right? A solid 9.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I think that Mr. Majors, I was surprised, just like you, that they didn't scrub him out of this trailer. But we'll just see what we're gonna get when the show starts. I've heard there was some editing done to the show as well, so that's I don't know. Let's see what happens. But I'm looking forward to it, Mr. Kwan, Miss Minutes. I'm looking forward to seeing them all. I'm at a 9, solid 9.
Marvel's greatest jump scare ever. Miss Minutes.
Howdy.
Gracious.
You didn't see that coming?
Wait, hold on.
Like you just...
And I actually forgot to mention this. Did you guys? It looked like a Mecha Minutes.
Yes.
Like, did you see? She got huge.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
like,
she
yo.
was huge.
She went Godzilla mode and terrorized the city.
She went kaiju mode. She went kaiju. I was like, yo.
Beware Mrs. Hours. She went from Miss Minutes to Miss Hours. It was weird.
And like 2
I'm here for
minutes,
it.
I was like, what? I think it was because it was like the beginning of that episode. They're like creeping into the castle, and it's like, oh, like we're like 2 minutes in, and then all of a sudden, howdy y'all just comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh my goodness. It almost I had my heart jump out of my chest. But Loki season 2, I'm also sitting at like a 9 out of 10. It looks grandiose, especially after being so gravely disappointed from the last show we had here, Secret Invasion. Very disappointed. I'm very excited for Loki season 2. It just looks like it's more grand. The production looks big. It looks like it's going to follow the first season up very well. And is this our first season 2 of these shows? I think it is. I think it's our first. Yep, it's our first season 2. Right. So this will be a good testing ground for how a second season of any of the other shows could shape up. I don't know if they're going to do another Falcon and Winter Soldier. Well,
unless you count What If. Did What If
have What If's got.
But
no, not yet. It's coming up though.
Yeah, it hasn't premiered yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to have a What If season 2. I guess the Power Broker will be the villain in the Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2 if they do that, but this will be a good testing ground for that idea. But yeah,
I'm still mad about who the Power Broker is, bro.
But I mean,
I didn't like that.
I thought they decided not to do a season 2. I thought Captain America: Brave New World was where they were going to go with that.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to still do Brave New World, but I think if they want to do a season 2, they still got the Power Broker idea laying around.
Right.
They could just leave that alone.
Yeah. It was interesting.
I mean, I understand why she's mad, but really I don't see why she became a villain. I can see her grief or her
Agent Carter's niece. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
right. I
mean,
didn't get it. I mean,
she Captain America kissed both, Miss Carter and then the niece, and then when he went back to the aunt, I think she's real pissed. So I understand. Really? You went back to my aunt? Yeah. Keep it in the family.
How could you? Laser sent out an 8 out of 10 for Loki season 2. And yeah, a solid 9 from the panel. Guys, let's move on to our next item here. I will say there's not a lot of trailers this week, so I decided let's just talk about some of our favorite TMNT movies. Of course, that 90s one being one that is just so beloved. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Call me crazy, but if we talking like top 20 top 25 comic book movies. I'm putting that first Turtles in the round. I'm putting it in the list. For top 25, I'm throwing it in. I think it's beloved. It's a fun, crazy good adaptation of these TMNT, especially for its time, like that Power Rangers era of just like that cheesy, corny action. It just works, man. 90s all over. Lo, how you feeling about TMNT? What are some of your favorite movies? For me, one of my favorites, I'll talk about Mayhem later because that's my current favorite. But one of my favorites is absolutely the 90s TMNT, man. What about you?
Oh, yeah. 1990 TMNT is actually underrated in my opinion. It's perfectly walks that balance of like silly, family-friendly slapstick with a really gritty aesthetic that very much matched the original comics that were a lot darker and grittier. It was actually, there was a lot of grime to this, like seeing the crime of the Foot Clan stealing and robbing people, and just like Ralph's anger through the sewers, like him fighting Casey Jones, like in the woods and stuff. Like there's a lot of like interesting things that was happening in that film. And honestly, like there's a lot of dark stuff too. Like Shredder's terrifying in that movie. That whole sequence where he's like has his cape on the floor and he's like talking to the Foot Clan about what they could be and what they could achieve and stuff. It's like, it's pretty creepy.
The grooming. Oh man.
Yeah, and like for a little kid, like his voice and the way he looked, like it's creepy. Like got some edge to it. And then what's his name? Oh god, Tatsu, the bald samurai dude. That's his second in command.
Shredder's side dude. Yeah.
Yo, he like beat the hell out of that one kid. Like, never take your eye off enemy. Like,
remember that scene? He's beating them all down. He was beating all those kids.
That's for training. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this is pretty violent, man.
Oh yeah, he was a mixed bag. I mean, one kid bumps into him, he brushes it off, go play. Next thing you know, he's beating the hell out of another kid. He was a mystery wrapped in a riddle, man. I love it.
Right. And then also, I mean, like, just that final fight is so grand. The rooftop battle with Shredder and the Turtles, to be honest, they get their asses handed to them. They were not ready for the Shredder, and of course Splinter got the best of him by throwing him in a damn trash compactor. But whoops. But you know what I mean, like the it's pretty violent for a children's movie that that's what they were marketing it to. So I love that grittiness. I love that visceral turtle energy, so that's actually my favorite. That's my top film. Mayhem's right under it, but that's my top film.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Hands down, the most quotable out of all the Turtles franchise movies. Every installment, that is the most quoted. That's the one. Come on, how do you guys expect to beat me? Oh, good answer. Good answer. That is hands down the best movie out of each one. Now
that's my favorite Ralph too.
That Ralph is the best. I mean, the turtle wax joke, the message to April O'Neil with the I mean, it was very gritty, like you said. There was some dark moments in that cartoon. I could not believe how I think I was 10, 11 when that came out, and I was ready to take on crime all by myself when I ran out of that movie. It inspired me a lot when I walked out of that theater. I was very happy and very pleased with that. I still to this day I quote that movie like it's nothing. But yeah, that's the best. That's the classic one. That's the one. Underrated. Who said that? Don't you dare disrespect.
That was low. Underrated.
No, somewhere on the deep dark corners of like film Twitter, I heard people just trashing the 90s Turtles. I was not having it about that.
Well, there was moments where when the mouth opened up, you could see the actor inside. So
Hey, that picture is cursed. It's like a picture of like Donnie laughing, and there's like eyes in his mouth. Yeah, it's like what the hell?
A little too Ralph. That was a little too Ralph.
It's like, oh man, that one. Oh, that I've seen that, and it's the stuff of nightmare. It's a little bit. But I gotta say, Mutant Mayhem's my new favorite. But this is a very close second. I really enjoy it, and honestly, I really enjoy Secret of the Ooze. It's been a while since I watched both of those movies. Went back and watched them this week. Secret of the Ooze is a lot of fun. I think it's a worthwhile follow-up to the first one. Go Ninja, go! It's so much fun. I like bringing Shredder back. It works for me. I like Secret of the Ooze a lot. I think that honestly, Lo, you were talking about the first one being underrated. If you just go on the Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, the first two movies are like ripped to shreds by critics at the time, audience members, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I had a blast with both of them. I do think Raph gets some good character development in this one as well, when he's like isolated from the Turtles. In the first one, that was a good moment, and then he gets some more good moments in this one. I like this one, man. I think it's fun. I think it's worthwhile. I think it's just as funny. I think some of the stuff is a little better because, I mean, in the first one, they turned off the lights and they're like, you know, beating up people under the sewer. And it's like, okay, but the lights are out. In the second one, you actually get an intro sequence where they're like fighting, taking on dudes, beating them up. I'm like, okay, I'm here. The action is awesome.
A fun fact about that, though. If you remember the intro sequence, which I'll say Secret of the Ooze is endlessly rewatchable for me, which I love. I don't love it as much as the first one, but parents complain about the samurai swords and the size, so they don't use their weapons on anybody in the second film.
They just beat them up.
Let me borrow that tie, sir, and then we fight.
Yeah, and then like what was it? They had the yo-yo, walk the dog, around the world, and it's like they used other things. They did not use their weapons on any of the Foot Clan in that film. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah. A lot of people got stabbed in the first movie. They had to dial it down.
They're like, yeah, no katanas. But what did y'all think of Secret of the Ooze?
Well, the second most quotable one. Like I said, there's Ralph. Yeah, a little too Ralph. That's one of my favorite lines. I had just as much fun with the second one as I did with the first one, even though they with the ooze and they introducing more mutants. What was it, Toka and Razor? Come on, who doesn't love that moment where it's, attack me if you must, but in the end you will call me master. And they go, oh man, classic. I swear I was like, you know what? I don't need Krang. I just need them saying "Mama" to call Shredder, Mama. That's all I needed. That was
their babies.
Oh man, it was so much gaslighting. They're stupid. Like, no, they're not. Come on, have a heart, Kevin. I mean, one of my favorite wrestlers, Kevin Nash, playing Super Shredder. I mean, that was a great. Yeah, it was just not better than the first one in my opinion, but really close. A really close second to the.
Really close, very close. I agree. Right behind that one.
Hey, also, I mean, I love the film too. Shouts out Ernie Reyes Jr. Acclaimed martial artist, and he has some Filipino in him. So I love my boy Kino. That was cool, kind of like letting him infiltrate the Foot Clan and being a pizza boy. Like, I just love that character, man.
I liked him too, and I don't think he ever came back.
Yeah, no, he did.
Well, I was like,
he had surf ninjas.
I forget.
After Surf Ninjas, he didn't get to
Bob Moran. Yeah, I remember that. There you go. I'm telling you, bring up a certain movie, a certain scene always pops in my head.
Nice. And also, I mean, he got years later, he was in The Rundown with The Rock and Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah.
But he never really got a chance to shine after that. But yeah, shout out to my boy.
He didn't get his moment. This is a good question here from the Laser. Best Ninja Turtle. We'll start with you, Chris. Favorite Ninja Turtle?
My favorite has always been Donatello. I mean, he's the brains of the operation. When I heard about the comic book where there was a Last Ronin, I always thought it made sense for it to be Donatello, maybe. But because at least you have a turtle that can make some gadgets. But when I heard the direction that it went, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty dark, that's pretty deep. And I gotta read that. I haven't read it, but I gotta read that book. But I've always thought that Donatello was the one who needed I felt like he needed more love and more attention. I felt like he was underrated. And that I don't know if it was the last TV series or the one before where he had a crush on the April O'Neil, and he was always trying to. It was on Nickelodeon. He was always trying to get her attention. I love that about him. That he was always my guy. He was the underdog. He was. Yeah, I felt like I could identify with him more. I'm as a self-proclaimed genius myself.
Well, look at that background, hell. It's looking good. But everybody says Donnie's underrated, but everybody's favorite is Donnie. Lo, ain't your favorite Donnie?
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite.
Yeah, Donatello. He's a great turtle, guys. Listen, I don't deny that the brains of the operation is amazing. but you can't have the operation without the leader, baby. You can't have the operation at all without Leonardo, baby. I love Leonardo. Always been my favorite, not just the namesake, not just because his name's Leo, but because he's always brought the best out of every turtle in the best adaptations. He brings the best out of them, especially, man, that 03 guys. I'm telling y'all, that 03 series, peak. Now, I will say, as a series as a whole, I think the 2012 is probably the best made, but at 03, the first 5 seasons of that sucker is great. Now, the first series has like 10 seasons. I will admit I have not completed all 10 of the first series. No, my favorite turtle is definitely not Venus.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on, man? Oh man, Venus from that 90s series that they did, the 90s live action.
That was the worst thing of turtles we've ever had. That was so bad. But
I never even watched it.
They did cross over with the Power Rangers, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. The cartoon series where all the past cartoons, they all got to meet, they all got to cross over. I love that as well. That was cool.
Yeah, that was tight. Did y'all ever check out Turtles Forever when they did the 03 crossover with the originals?
I think I saw it on YouTube, yeah, but I know what you're talking about, yeah.
They do them too, and then they take the comic book turtles too, and the comic book turtles get in it as well. It's a cool little crossover special.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. But JHC10 saying 03 is his favorite series. What's y'all's favorite series? Is it the 80, the 87?
It was 87, and then then later it became the what was it, 2012? That one where
the 3D one.
Yeah,
that 3D. That one, I would say, like, I think personal fave is 03, but that one is like the most well made. I think it's got the best stories, and that 2012 one is another level. Yeah. The voice acting's great too.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, G Kobe P popping in between us and Double Toasted? Well, hey, we're glad to be a part of that double up there. That's awesome. Love the Double Toasted crew. Favorite turtle is Mikey for G Kobe. Okay, we get it. Listen, all the turtles are great. Raph is great too.
A fellow chucker, eh?
I gotta ask y'all about the Bay though. How do we feel about the Bay turtles? I mean, I think there's way too much April O'Neil, but I do think, for what it's worth, they were okay. I don't know if they deserved like the lashing that they got, but
no, the second one deserved
out the shadows.
The first one I felt was okay. I love that you were talking earlier about the rooftop battle. I thought that elevator ride to the top of the building was just as good as the rooftop battle on the 80s of the first movie. So that little dance break that they
and seemed like
I thought that was pretty good.
I didn't like their character design. They were like hulking, big ass. They look like football players, and I mean, I know they tried to make the faces look more realistic. I don't know, turtle-ish. I don't know. They kind of look like aliens to me. I didn't care for the character design, and to be honest, I didn't like Megan Fox as April. I mean, she's hot or whatever, but
who cares?
I didn't like her as April. That wasn't working for me. But
I really didn't like the sorry to cut into you, Lo. I really didn't like their connection. Like how she was like the daughter of the scientist that experimented on them, and then she like knew all their names and stuff. I was like, well, that takes away the mystery of like her discovering them and her doing the usual iconic passing out when she finds out there's 4 mutant turtles. So it's kind of like, we ripped the Band-Aid off of that relationship.
But what I was gonna say was an all-timer moment for me is when they're falling off the building and Ralph thinks they're gonna die. And that speech, and he's like, amazing. I'm always harming you guys, and I'm always acting like I'm tough and stuff, but it's because I just want you guys to be better. And like that whole thing that got to me. I was like, hey, that's a good Ralph moment right there. So.
And the moment where they finally let loose and say "cowabunga" for the first, I thought it was funny how they treated the cowabunga phrase. It's like it's corny. It's like, you know what, that thing that I'm never letting you say. You know what? Go ahead. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was good.
Oh man, and that game to beat Shredder when they all did the little stack up and jump over each other. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty tight.
Mhm.
Tyler said they made Shredder a transformer.
Oh
yeah, I didn't like that part, but I mean,
I mean, Shredder had all the gadgets and like all this, and I was like, what happened to him just being like a ninja in armor? Like,
oh, don't get me started. That's one of the things that I did not like about the Michael Bay version, if I remember correctly, because I'm trying to forget. And you'll be surprised. It's a similar answer to what I think about the latest Mutant Mayhem. So I won't say it now. I'll wait until we get into Mutant a little bit in Mutant Mayhem.
To touch on that, I feel like Hollywood had a weird fixation with like, oh, the bad guy can't just be a normal guy. Like, remember the Wolverine? They did the same thing with Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai, yeah.
Like he couldn't just be a samurai. They made him like a robot samurai. It's like, dude, why can't they just be badass samurai ninjas? Like, like.
I don't know. I guess being a ninja isn't enough anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Got to be over the top. It's got to be
the Transformer.
Exactly. What's going on, Station C? Introduction of TMNT was the NES 1989 game. Broke one of my NES because of that TMNT. Man.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking Turtles in Time?
I was about to say that's my game.
Hey, that's a dope game, but hey, the original Nintendo game is super hard. Yeah. It's like ridiculous.
It's hard as hell. That OG is. But that beat 'em up Turtles in Time, man.
Yeah.
That iconic right there.
Oh, shell shock. Oh yeah. I love it.
Yeah, going into the prehistoric, seeing the dinosaurs, seeing the cowboys, like that was so fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Michelangelo was awesome in 87, Leo in 03. Yeah, most of them I like the whole pack, but yeah, Leo is always the one that I'm just like, it's my boy right there.
I always felt that Leo was great because of the way Ralph challenged him. That's every great Leo moment was always because Ralph was pissing him off and pushing him to you think it's the other way around, but Ralph really, in his own little messed up way, really made Leo a better leader by challenging him all the like, come on, Leo, like do the job the way I want to do it, or I'll take the leadership spot from you. And Leo always rose to you're not going to take the spot. I'm the leader. like yeah, Ralph, I felt Ralph always made Leo better.
Yeah, Raphael was like always that sharp edge that the Turtles needed really to just like keep them in line. Because you're right. If Leo ever falls out of line, it's like Raph will take the spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm ready. Yeah.
We haven't talked about it, but this 07 one, that was like probably I would say in the movies, the best capturing of the rivalry between those two brothers, because it was like peak.
Oh, the animated movie. Yeah,
that 07 animated when they were 3D, and which by the way, I was like, the designs are still kind of sharp. Going back and looking at them, hold up pretty well, and the battle between Raph and Leo is great. Leo loses.
That was my favorite Leo moments in that movie. That I love what they did with Leo in that movie.
Did you guys notice at the end of that film the shrine that Splinter has? And so to my understanding, it's like acknowledging that the 90s movies happened. Like they had the scepter from the third movie. They had Shredder's original mask from the 1990 film. So I heard like the writers behind this one were acknowledging this is like a spiritual sequel to those films, even though it's animated.
Right.
But I guess it's in the same universe, I guess.
Oh, they Brandon Ralph the Turtles for that one, for that spiritual sequel.
And what's weird about that
just the shrine alone kind of confirms it. You know what I mean? Like this, the scepter. I was like, what? Like,
so there's that shrine, right? And then you have these weird moments in the actual animation that continue off of the 03 series at the time. Because at the time, the 03 series, Leo was being sent off to train and stuff. So I was like, okay, do these all follow each other? But then Turtles Forever comes out and establishes the 87 Turtles are a different universe. It's a weird continuity thing that the Turtles do, but Chris Evans was also Casey Jones in this movie. G. Kobe said the same thing. But this movie was the 07, another TMNT movie that I think just got ripped to shreds. And I'm like, the story's kind of boring, but you have Uncle Iroh voicing Splinter. Amazing. That battle between Raph and Leo. I think the battle between the Turtles and the monsters in the end is actually pretty cool as well. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like a 30%. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, to be honest, I feel like that setup is just so weird. It's just so out there. Like 3,000 years ago, there was an immortal king, and he needs to resurrect his brothers and his generals. It's like, what
we
is
need
happening?
monster.
Like out of all the turtle lore, it's like, where did this come from? Like,
I mean, but a decapitated alien in the stomach of a robot is more, believable. I get it.
oh yeah, give me that brain. Give me that weird brain with the arms.
Give me
Like,
that brain.
Krang is Krang, baby. Krang is Krang.
We got Fusion High Podcast saying,
Whoa,
Leo
what's
is the
up, bros?
man.
That's my boys. What's going on?
Hey, good to see you guys pulling up. All right. We are going to move into our next section of the show, guys, which this is our main meat and potatoes of the show, guys. It's time for guys, it is time for the roundup. Lo, let us know what you got. We got some juicy stories today to talk about. So let us know, bro. What's going on in the roundup?
And I am hoping this cooperates with me.
No!
Yeah, I know. We probably should have double checked. I don't understand what the issue is, man.
Shoot me an email.
We have life. We have life. All right, y'all. Barbie is still number one at the box office and has just grossed over 1 billion worldwide. Greta Gerwig is the first female director to do so. She's breaking records. I said it last week. I'm so overjoyed that this happened. This is awesome. It's unprecedented. It's honestly, I'm shocked. I couldn't believe it. I knew this movie would be a smashing hit, but I didn't think it hit that billion mark. I didn't think it'd become the phenomenon that it has been. But holy moly, Barbie has taken over the world. I will say though, numbers are down from the opening Barbenheimer weekend. The number one gross for Barbie was at 50 mil. So the numbers went way back down. So it's just, I think this is still a testament to the fact that the market is oversaturated. There's just too many things to watch. Haunted Mansion got buried. Turtles, unfortunately, got buried. The Meg opened up over Oppenheimer, but it didn't make that much money. I think the box office is still in disarray despite the Barbenheimer phenomenon. I'm gonna throw this to you, Chris. How surprised are you with the success that Barbie has, and are you surprised it got to Billy this quick?
Yes, I'm surprised that it got to 1 billion this fast because I knew, I felt it was going to be a hit. I felt like there was some energy behind it, and I told myself, you know what? After that first week, I didn't think the first week was going to be the litmus test of what, if I'm saying that right, is it litmus? I don't know. I thought that second week was going to tell me everything I needed to know. That 42% drop from week 1 to week 2. I said, that's it. This movie is going to beat Mario as far as beating it for the number one spot for 2023. It's still, even though it's 50 million this weekend, I think it's still pacing ahead of where Super Mario Brothers was in the same week. So it's got legs, and there are still. I went on week 2. I took my daughter to go see it, and there's still groups of people in pink going out. Look, I'm wearing I'm Knuff sweater myself. I'm all on board, and I think this is going to be the number one movie of the year as far as financial.
I totally agree with you, and just on behalf of everybody here, we are Knuff. We are Knuff. What's up, Joe-san?
Yeah.
Joe-san is in the house. His noties was going off.
What's up, man?
Colby's calling the bar billion. They did it, man.
$1 billion Barbie. That's what I call
They did it. Let me toss this to you, Leo. Can you believe how quickly they got to 1 billion? Because I think they got to 1 billion faster than Mario, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, they did. And they are trending on there. As long as they've been out, they are making more money than Mario has been at its point here in the sun. So I think we're looking at our number one of the year, guys. I think Barbie is going to be eventually pass up Mario as quick as it's gaining money. And like Chris was saying, I've been out to Barbie. I've now seen it twice. And I saw the second time I saw it like weeks after we saw it at San Diego Comic-Con, Loretto. It's still packed with people in pink.
In pink?
Still, weeks later. And I'm like, okay, I got my Barbie shirt too, ready to go. Everybody's pinked out for Barbie still weeks after. And It's got to get some kind of record. I wonder. It's not the fastest to a billion, but it's seeming that way. Like maybe third or fourth fastest, fifth fastest to a billion because it got there really quick. And
I was gonna say I don't think
it's not slowing down.
I think Endgame, was
the
fastest,
like
but
Endgame.
I don't think that's ever going to be topped, by the way. Endgame did that in like 4 or 5 days. That was,
right.
That was insane.
Like halfway through the movie, announcement, $1 billion.
Right. Hey, y'all ain't done?
Man, people were using the Infinity Stones to watch that movie like 5 times in a day or something, man. That was crazy. But and on a more sour note, so let me just highlight the fact that the Meg 2 did open up in second, but our boys, the Turtles, opened in 4th place, guys. And I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I think it was something like 30 mil. So I mean, it's not too bad. I think my only hope for the Turtles is the fact that, as a family-friendly film and as a film, like for the same reason that Elemental and Mario kind of just kept chugging along, I think families will still bring their kids out. Maybe some families on trips right now aren't going to the movies, but maybe this weekend they'll be like, hey, let's watch a Turtle movie, and maybe the numbers go back up. So fingers crossed, the positive word of mouth, I think it's 97% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, the highest rated Turtles movie ever. I think it's 95 and 97. Yeah.
So it's got a lot of good things going for it. And as a big fan, I really hope the Turtles pull through. Let me throw this right back down to you, Chris. Are you surprised with this? Because I thought the Turtles would do a lot better.
I thought it would do a lot better as well. It goes to show you like how surprised I am with how Barbie is doing. I feel that I've said this on my show. We recently had a Barbie spoilers discussion on my show, and I feel like streaming and all these options that we have now, I think a lot of people are really picking and choosing which movies that they want to really invest in. Like one of Mario, for example. And before that, it was a Top Gun Maverick. Everybody went nuts for it. But all these, like Mission Impossible, I expected that Mission Impossible 7 to do very well.
Yeah.
But people were like, you know what? No, I'm gonna save my money. That one is the one that I can probably wait till it comes on streaming. I feel like people are picking and choosing which ones they're going to, get out there to bring the family to. Maybe the fact that it was a family-friendly movie, I'm talking about Barbie, helped with it as well. But like you said, I thought the Turtles would have that same type of power. But as you guys mentioned earlier, that it's never really had that big of an impact. It had one of those blockbuster moments in any of the installments. So I was surprised. I mean, the fact that the cast were actual teenagers, loved it. It fit. So I was worried about it first, but I was like, that was the magic. You could tell there was a lot of fun in making that movie, and I thought it would have a bigger opening. But I feel like maybe just like The Little Mermaid, I feel like it will have legs down the line. It will make that money and be profitable.
Do you concur with that, Leo? That the Turtles will kind of like make its way through the summer?
So it might, because Elemental is holding on so much that it has now surpassed Lightyear and The Good Dinosaur in its box office run. So it was touted to be the lowest Pixar ever. And it was their lowest opening ever, if I'm not mistaken. But now it has had so many legs that it has just stretched its way all the way out that far. Now, the Meg, I want to point out that it is a huge franchise in China. It brought in 50 million alone in China. I'm serious.
Goodness. No, I know.
50 million alone. So it's one of those kind of sleeper, kind of sneak up hits, and it'll have its quick little weekend, but it is disappointing. But I was saying earlier, the Turtles have never been a movie franchise. They're very much a TV show.
Yeah.
So like once this show, they're going to do a show based on this pack of turtles. I'm sure it's going to get like very good viewership numbers on Paramount. I think once it hits Paramount Plus, it's going to be like their best of the week, probably best of the year. Just like Chris was saying, people are choosing to wait for video on demand, wait for streaming, wait until it hits the platform. There's a lot of a la carte shopping going on right now. Clearly, people wanted to see Barbie in theaters and Oppenheimer, two huge, completely opposite blockbusters we have going on right now. But what Barbenheimer proves is that not only is it us on Twitter or YouTube or TikTok who are really deeply into movies, not only is it us who are sick of the franchise, but it's the general public who's making most of the money for these box offices.
Right.
They're sick of the big franchises. They're sick of the MCU at this point. They're tired of Mission Impossible #7. They want fresh, original stuff. And Barbie and Oppenheimer's box office numbers prove just that.
Absolutely, Leo. And also, I think audiences are just attracted to a big ass damn shark. I mean, how many times have we had a freaking shark movie, people? But you know, speaking of legs for films, pardon the crudeness of the photo I took, but Jason Statham is in this picture kicking a shark, you guys. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess that's something that they want to see. Like, they're gonna get the popcorn and watch Jason Statham kick sharks in the face. So
over a beautifully animated Turtles movie? Come on.
I mean, he's showing off those quads, those skills. I can kick a dinosaur shark in the face. You got to see it, baby.
Look at perfect form.
That man is
perfect.
That man is leg pressing 400 pounds, man.
Hit that shark right in the nose at 9 o'clock. Perfect.
Like, look at that leg press. That man is in it.
Look at getting the gains.
But you know, with that being said, I'm rooting for the Turtles. You know, we'll see how the rest of August plays out. Next on the docket here, notable stars have donated around $15 million in emergency funds for SAG-AFTRA. SAG and the WGA are obviously on strike right now. If you guys don't know about it. Some of the stars that were notable was obviously Dwayne Johnson in the picture here, Meryl Streep, Leo DiCaprio, and I couldn't fit him in here, but Matt Damon also made some pretty decent contributions.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
Hey, Chris, you got some amazing voices, man. Your talk was perfect earlier. That was perfect.
Oh yeah. I'm still debating on whether or not I should just wrap it up and become a voice actor.
Look into it, man. You got some chops, man.
You got the skills.
But you know, going back to this, this warms my heart, especially just feeling for the writers and the actors that are just not being compensated enough. I think this is awesome that the actors are coming together to do this, especially the more higher profile actors like Leo DiCaprio, really kind of putting their money where their mouth is, like showing support for their fellow actors. So I like the solidarity here. Let me toss this to you, Leo. What'd you think when you heard this news?
Man, I'm happy that they're supporting, because I feel like this is a good way that they can support. I guess if you don't want to be on the picket lines, like, this is a way that you can support, and let's keep it going, because the negotiations still are happening. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. I'm glad that they're supporting by donating millions of dollars to keep this going, because people are losing, unfortunately. Like, they're not able to pay bills and stuff through this whole strike, and the studios are talking about we're going to wait until they just lose their houses, which is super unfortunate on their side. So let's keep this going until we can get a fair deal for these writers, man. Come on, these writers and actors have done a lot for us. And the thing is, I think, again, I just keep reiterating this, like, not every writer is paid top dollar. Not nearly every actor is paid top dollar. The people who donated this money is a very small percentage of SAG-AFTRA. Yeah. The actual people who are working every day, who are making $58,000 a year, are not these people. So they need that support, and I'm glad they came through for them, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think the thing with the strike is, I think the longer it's going on, I don't know if Hollywood realizes it. This is not good press for them. It's showing a light on the fact that they're being so cold-hearted, in my opinion. So fingers crossed, you know, that they do the right thing, you know. But Chris, what do you think about what's your stance on the strike, and how do you feel about the stars helping out?
Let me tell you what's really going on here. After The Rock put that $1 million down, everybody else, Meryl Streep, Leonardo, oh no, I'm not going to be outshined by The Rock. Not again, Rock. I'm going to help out. I'm going to help them all out. I love the fact that they all came together, and I want them to make it a competition. Come on, guys, get together, help out the guys that are out there on the picket line, and get out there. I would love seeing that. I just to speak on what you were saying earlier. You're right. A lot of people think that Hollywood is just these elitist millionaires. Like, no. The 99% of they're struggling. They're working day jobs. They're waitresses. They can barely make ends meet. A lot of them can't even reap the benefits of being SAG members to get like insurance and healthcare and things like that. So it's like people have to realize that it's not just these Hollywood elite millionaires that are not working. It's just people that are just trying to get into the craft that they love and trying to break it. People that are just trying to break into it for the first time, have that big moment. The guy that you see in the background that doesn't have a line, but loves being out there and loves working. So I'm rooting for these guys. I'm hoping that they get what they deserve, what they're fighting for. I'm hoping that other actors out there like Green Arrow, please stop saying things that are making things complicated. We don't need the infighting. All this nonsense needs to stop. So I appreciate the fact that actors like The Rock and
man,
came together.
I doubt that Arrow dude ever works again. Like,
oh no, I think he'll be fine.
Oh, he'll work again.
See, okay, so when he first said what he said, the way I took it was because he said, I stand in solidarity with the people that are on strike. I support the strike. I just personally don't like the idea of striking. That's how I took it. But of course, now online, if you're not 100% with it, you're 100% against it. So he walked it back. He further explained himself, and it wasn't a wise thing to say. Obviously, come on, you knew there was a cell phone in that room, dude. You were not in the room with your closest friends. There were cell phones. Come on, dude. That was crazy. But I don't think he's going to get labeled
blacklisted.
Scab. I don't think so.
Nah.
I was gonna say I didn't see his full statement. So
well, I do gotta say I was kind of laughing because he was out the next morning, y'all. I know y'all seen this video.
I think he was on the picket line, right?
Camera up.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't on the picket line. He had his camera up. And he was talking in front of a billboard for Heels season 2.
Right.
And he's like, it kind of sucks when you can't talk about the projects you're in, but I'm very grateful for all the opportunities. And he kept flashing over the billboard. And it's like, dude, you're promoting your show.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
Like, dude, stop that. Like, oh. I feel like, the art of advertising without advertising. Very sneaky. Oh, okay.
Like,
because unless he can kind of do it because he's the producer, not speaking as the actor, but I am also the producer. Like the way that Chris Nolan was able to be the only one to promote Oppenheimer because he promoted it as the director, he wasn't an actor.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe there's I don't know. But he needs to kind of chill out.
Maybe so.
Right.
But yeah, fingers crossed. And I wanted to point out, I know you don't love this movie, Leo, but I think La La Land is a pretty good example of how most actors probably are. Like the fact that Emma Stone was working in a coffee shop, she shows up to her audition, and there's 20 other girls with the same outfit as her, and she thought she was putting her heart out there, and then there's literally hundreds of girls just like her doing the same thing, and it's like it's tough being an actor, so I feel for him for sure. Hopefully this gets to a speedy resolution. Next up, Miss Gal Gadot says in an interview that she heard James and Peter will work with her on Wonder Woman 3. I think, look, if this is true, I think it would explain a lot why she's been popping up in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. She pops up in The Flash. It does feel like James Gunn and everybody around the DCU wants to keep her around. And honestly, I don't mind it. I know a lot of people wanted to just reset the whole thing and just start fresh, but I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I know you like it, Leo, but let me toss it down to Chris, man. Are you surprised by this news? Do you think there's truth to this, what she's heard?
Absolutely not. The fact that everybody ran with this story as if it was the gospel right out of James Gunn's mouth. I was like, wait a second. When I went back and I read what she actually said, it was like, I had heard something that somebody had said when they passed by me in the hallway. They might have mentioned it. No, it felt like it was just second, third, fourth, and fifth. And like, no, this is not happening. Now, if it does happen, there's going to be so many Henry Cavill fanboys rioting and why her? Why not Henry? Why? So I'm thinking,
speaking truth, man.
But even to them, I would tell them, calm down, go back. I mean, spoiler for you guys who haven't seen Flash, but I mean, no one saw it. So go back to what Michael Keaton said about how when you mess with time, some things are very similar. Some things have changed like completely. So she could be one of these consistent things throughout at any timeline. Maybe they'll explain it like that. Maybe the same for Aquaman. Who knows? But I feel like that would be putting them into a situation where they would have to waste time explaining it all the time. And then Henry Cavill is just going to keep coming up over and over and over again. So no, just I feel like hard reboot everything. If you because I feel like too many people are just going to complain. Well, what about Batman? What about Henry Cavill? What about Ben Affleck?
What about George Clooney? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, where's the shred?
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
Look, that to me told me 100% that the Flash 2 was never going to happen, even if that movie was successful. The fact that the Flash is stuck in a universe with George Clooney, that should tell you everything. That's it for Ezra. He's never coming back because George isn't coming back. So if he's
right,
I'm sorry, I'm going off. What was the question again about a fashion show? I forgot.
Hey, you're good. You're good. You spoke your thoughts well. Leo, how do you feel about this? Gal is your girl. How do you feel about this?
Oh, I'm feeling great. This is a exclusive from comicbook.com.
Okay.
And here's exactly what she said, because I have the quote. I love portraying Wonder Woman. It's close to and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. So there's a lot to be said to those quotes. Number one, I agree with you, Chris. Nothing from James Gunn's mouth. So James Gunn has to come out and say
the guy who can't keep a secret to save his life is
the man who runs to Twitter to talk about things in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that we didn't even know about. So it's like, all right, the man who's like replying to Chocolate Chip 15269, who's running rumors about like Henry Cavill is finally coming back, but this time he's playing Killer Shark.
Right.
It's like, okay, he's replying to everybody, but
the question is, when did Gal Gadot have that conversation with James Gunn? Was it before Black Adam? Was it after? What happened? When was this? Well, I need a timeline.
And this was during an interview for Heart of Stone, her upcoming Netflix movie, which, by the way, Netflix I'm gonna be following up about tomorrow. If you see this, I'm coming for the inbox. But she was already promoting another movie, so like you were saying, Chris, it could have been a conversation a long time ago that was had. But far they did. James Gunn did exclusively say earlier in this whole DCU shuffling that Patty was gone, not Gal. So he did kind of chase some people off from thinking that Gal was away from all of this. So there's a couple of scenarios here. She's either still Wonder Woman fully. Okay. She might be developing and helping create a new Wonder Woman. Or she's like, this is old news and they're not going to run with her at all. But I think it's somewhere between the first two. She either is still going to be Wonder Woman and doing a Wonder Woman 3, or they're going to reboot it and she's somehow involved. I don't know. Either scenario, I'm happy. Right on. I'm down. Gal, thanks for still coming and being part of the DCU. Any way you want to be a part of it, we're here to welcome you. So I'm loving it.
You know what I need? I need Michael Pena to do his Ant-Man Luis, to do a recap of all the DCU news. All right, so I heard from my brother's sister's cousin, and then he do the whole montage.
Do it all, man, because we need something.
and then my brother James Gunn got on Twitter and he explained the whole thing. And it was really cool.
Yes, I need it. There's been so many freaking rumors and so many. I don't know what's what, but if Gal comes back, I will welcome her back with open arms.
I would welcome.
All right, Sean. Moving right along. Christopher Landon of Freaky fame and Happy Death Day is replacing the Radio Silence team as the new director of Scream 7. If you guys don't know this, I'm a huge horror head, so this speaks to me a lot. I don't know a lot about Christopher Landon as a filmmaker. I actually haven't seen Freaky. I heard it's fun. I missed that one. So I think it was Vince Vaughn. And
what's her name from Ant-Man?
Yeah, his body got like into her body or something
Catherine
like that.
Friday,
it's like Freaky Friday with a slasher
serial killer.
tip.
With a slasher. Yeah, it was cool.
So I haven't seen it. I did hear it was pretty decent though. I heard some good things. So I don't know how I feel about this because I actually really liked Scream 5. I liked Scream 5. I didn't love Scream 6, but I didn't hate it either. I was curious with where they were gonna go from here. Let me toss this to you, Leo. I know you're a big Scream fan as well. How do you feel about this?
Man, I have loved every Scream sequel, including 3, 5, 6. Loved it all. I thought 5 and 6, Radio Silence, were a perfect match for the Scream franchise. Like, I thought they captured the campiness and how it parodies other slasher movies very well, and they didn't go over the top, in my opinion. I really did like the sequels, and it felt like they belonged in this franchise. I'm worried because I guess I thought originally we were going into this with 3 more movies. So I was like, all right, let's just do Radio Silence for the last 3, give that continuity. Now it feels like, okay, maybe the next one is not the last one. So we can kind of flex and get different directors. And I don't know. I don't want to think of a day where I don't like a Scream movie, because every single one I've loved. Yes, that big old LOVE, loved. So I don't really, and this is my favorite horror franchise. This is one of them that I find a horror franchise that I don't have any movies I don't like in. I don't like some of the Saws. I don't like some of the Halloweens. I don't like some of the Friday the 13th. Scream is a complete franchise for me. And if we get one that is bad, I'm not gonna be happy about that. And I'm not supposed to say too much, but I heard from a little birdie who's on the inside
That Gal Gadot is gonna be.
That Wonder Woman's making a cameo. Maybe Jenna Ortega doesn't return.
Oh, that would be a
I don't know
huge
if I
bummer
like
for
that
me.
at all. Yeah,
That would be a huge
I
bummer
don't like
for
that.
me.
You know, I at first I didn't think I would believe it, but when so after Scream 5, and then when Wednesday happened, obviously everybody was thinking like, okay, this is going to become Jenna's franchise. But then I think that I felt that Scream 6, even though the focus was supposed to be on the older sister, because she was the one related to the former one of the original Ghostface. But then the focus went straight probably because of Wednesday, went straight to Jenna Ortega. But I felt that Scream 6 did a great job shifting the focus back to I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. The old
Melissa Barrera. She was Sam in the movie.
Yeah. To Sam. I thought it did a good job shifting it back towards her direction to lead the franchise. So if Jenna doesn't come back, what do you think? Does that mean that she would be one of the first victims of the new crew?
Maybe so.
I think if she doesn't return at all, they might just do an off-screen kind of thing,
Off-screen kill,
or maybe like, oh, she's overseas.
I mean, the way she was brutally attacked on 5 was like never seen before. That was
brutal.
That was very brutal for her to survive that. But I hope that rumor is not true. I like Jenna Ortega.
No, me too. And
She's been
also
great in these movies.
From what I understand, like there wasn't enough screen time for Sydney to do 6. So I think this might have something to do with that as well. Like maybe they're writing a beefy role for Sydney, and maybe they can't fit all of them in. I don't know.
Right? No, there was not enough money that they were not willing to pay her, and then I have her back on this. The fact that she has been in this franchise for so long, is the face of this franchise, and they still refuse to give her the payout that she deserved. Is why she didn't come out.
Yeah, I'm with Nev on that one. I'm siding
with Nev on that. Pay that woman; she deserves it.
Pay her.
Oh, yeah.
Pay.
Oh yeah.
But I'm okay. I'm happy with Chris Landon. Some of my favorite Paranormal Activity movies, I believe he directed, and Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. I love those movies. So at the very least, I feel like he'd be a good fit for the comedic parts of the Scream franchise. I know it's more horror than it is funny, but those funny moments always, I feel like he'd be a good fit. I don't know, maybe I'm alone on that.
And Freaky was good. I liked Freaky a lot, actually. So I just, where I worry is, I'm like, I didn't like the second Happy Death Day. I worry that maybe the comedy might get a little too heavy-handed, because it's right now we're like skirting the line where it's like, okay, it's good, it's fine.
And then it's Thor, Love, and Thunder.
Too much. Yeah, it's like, are we gonna get too heavy?
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't thunder me.
Right. It's like you take sips of cough medicine and then you just throw half the bottle down your throat. It's like, okay.
Right.
Pace yourself. Let's pace ourselves.
I was gonna say, as a fan of the franchise, I'm happy to see Nev back. And yeah, you know what? One of
she
these days,
confirmed?
I'm gonna do a marathon, Chris Landon style. Do Happy Death Day, Freaky, all that.
But is Nev confirmed to come back for the 7th?
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, the last report I saw, she's supposed to be in this.
Awesome. Get that paycheck.
Oh.
Get that.
Yeah,
paycheck.
go ahead.
Yeah, they
'Cause
came
she
to
was
terms.
at Fan Expo and she was kind of seeming like maybe she was teasing. I think somebody did ask, would you come back?
But yeah, I would love to see it. She is one of the Scream Queen. I'd put her in like the Mount Rushmore of Final Girls. I'd put her up there for sure.
Right.
Good comment here from Tyler too. Christopher Landon fits the mold. Filmography is a little mixed.
Yeah, I was gonna say he also did We Have a Ghost, and I don't know, that one looks so funny.
I saw a clip of that on TikTok, and I'm still debating on whether or not should I watch it. What do you guys recommend? What do you
No, just save yourself the time.
Don't do it.
I shouldn't have watched
it looks
and I was like,
so
oh,
corny.
man.
Okay.
But you know, one of these days, I'm gonna check out Happy Death Day for sure. I think that's like Groundhog Day style horror, right?
The first one was amazing. But you're right. They went from Ragnarok to Thor: Love and Thunder on Happy Death Day to You. I was so looking forward to Happy Death Day Part 2, but I loved Part 1.
Part 1 was so good.
Brilliant.
So good. Yeah, horror Groundhog Day, that was a good blend of genres there. That was awesome.
All right, staying within the horror realm, the legendary filmmaker George A. Romero, his Twilight of the Dead is set to shoot later this year. He finished the script before passing away in 2017. This is horror royalty right here, man. He directed the original Night of the Living Dead. A lot of people call him the godfather of the zombie genre. Of course, he followed it up with the equally awesome Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and then years later, Land of the Dead. And I actually haven't seen Diary or Survival, but this man kept it trucking, and I'm really interested to see where this ends up. This feels like Twilight of the Dead in its name feels like a very like finale kind of moment, like, and to put a stamp on this. So, as a huge fan of his original Dead trilogy, I'm stoked for this. Let me toss this to you, Chris. Are you a George A. Romero fan?
I love these movies. I can feel like just looking at that picture, I'm like, you better not make these zombies run, damn it! Because, but I love the way he presents these zombies, the way they walk, the way it's that old school like slow. I like the slow zombies. I know the fast ones is what's trending now, but there's something about the slow zombies. And I agree with you when you said that title tells me a lot. Like this could be a bookend to this whole series. Like, what does this mean that are they gonna find the cure at the end of it? Is it going to be the end of humanity? I feel like maybe, what if it's this? That's it. The whole world gets wiped out. Because from what I read from the synopsis, I believe they said that some of the last few humans that are left, like, is this it? Is this zombie world? Is it gonna just totally wipe out all of living humanity? And I'm curious to see how he rounds it out. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, that's a really good point, man. And I would also say, like, he's always kind of dipped his toes in the social commentary. I mean, especially with the very first film and with Dawn of the Dead. So I think that would be an interesting kind of like reflection on humanity. Like, maybe his vision is that that's where we're gonna end up or something like that. Like, we are slowly destroying ourselves or something like that. So I feel like that's very much like in his style of what he does.
It's a metaphor for social media. You got it. Yeah.
How about you, Leo? How excited are you for this Twilight of the Dead?
Hey, this is gonna be good. I did not know it was called Twilight of the Dead. It kind of made me think of Twilight for a minute. So I was like, please, no sparkling vampires allowed.
Tyler felt the same thing.
Well, and apparently they're applying for a SAG-AFTRA waiver.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to continue production at the end of 2023 here. Bring it on, man. Let's see what we're gonna have here. Besides Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, I haven't watched Diary, haven't watched Survival, I haven't watched a lot of them. So I'm gonna have to do a catch up because some of these of the Deads I have not seen.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't think Diary or Survival got a full theatrical release. So
really, was it a Shudder thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I gotta look up how to watch Diary and
right. I'm like, where the heck are these at?
But Land of the Dead was had John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper.
Right.
That one got a theatrical release back in like 2005 or something like that. 2000 something, 2008. I don't know.
The one I got to check out.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad. That one was interesting too, because he really started playing with the fact that like the zombies had started retaining some of their muscle memory, and like one of the one of the main zombies, like he's a gas station attendant. He was still like
he kept trying to work, right?
Yeah, he was trying to work, and I thought that was so interesting. And like, I think the thing with that one is like it was also showing zombies were retaining some emotion, because you could see some feelings in their eyes and stuff like that. So
being
what were we gonna say, Chris?
Some warm bodies type of stuff.
Kind of like being trapped in like maybe whatever that small little spark that's actually keeping them like quote unquote kind of alive, like even though they're actually dead. Yeah, that I thought that was an interesting take, because it's not like the zombie was like clocking in, punching a clock, and trying to help people, regular or unleaded brain. No, it's just, but it just that it explained a lot why some zombies still kind of hovered around certain areas. Like if they died near their home, that some zombies, like even in other The Walking Dead, like some zombies would still walk around their same neighborhoods, their same house and stuff like that. So that's kind of what that reminded me of. Like this dude died at work. Maybe he's like, hey, the business, like this is my job. This is dead or alive. I gotta make sure that everybody's cars are taken care of. So I appreciate that dude just still punching in and doing it. So that was, I remember seeing that, thinking that is weird that he's still kind of hovering around there. It was an odd, like not odd like I was bad, but it made me feel like, gosh, that's weird. Like I'm pretty sure that I would do the same thing. I would always be hovering around the AMC bathroom.
For real.
Waiting for get your AMC A-list scanner ready to go.
Waiting for Gal Gadot to show up as Wonder Woman. Yes.
Catch a zombie me like patrolling a building or tossing drinks behind a bar or something.
Apparently, Diary of the Dead was found footage.
Yeah, I heard that too. I just never saw it. I can't remember who was in that one either, but yeah. R.I.P. George Romero. I look forward to it. I think this is gonna be a good one.
Rest in peace, sir.
All right, and to round up the roundup, we got more rumors. Fantastic Four rumors have been surfacing ever since the project has been announced, and the newest rumor is Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn are being eyed for Sue and Johnny Storm. I'll say this: I actually spent a lot of time putting Vanessa Kirby's face in this picture, and I think she looks fantastic. I think she looks great. I don't know.
I see what you did there.
I see you.
I like Joseph Quinn. I don't know how I feel about him as Johnny, but if these rumors hold true, and I left Adam Driver in there because that was the last report we got for Mr. Fantastic, so I left him in there.
Apparently,
I don't mind.
He walked away from it.
Yeah, I heard he officially walked away.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta X out his face on that picture. But
apparently too, I'm just throwing in. Jack Quaid briefly was like guest to be. So okay, let me back things up. Like a certain podcast gets a lot of movie rumors, and they heard initials JQ, so they assumed it was Jack Quaid. And Jack Quaid himself came out on Twitter and was like, no, it's not me, but I appreciate it. Like, make this guy like Reed Richards, because I think that would be kind of cool to have him. He seems a little kind of geeky. He's tall. I was like, maybe a Mr. Fantastic. I don't know. But that was like a brief 5-minute rumor that it was going to be Jack Quaid as Johnny Storm, which I would have loved that.
People I would have
loved that one.
People trying to do the scoop thing, they be like jumping on anything, huh, Leo? Like just I heard.
I'll admit, I ran over to some group chats, like, oh my God, Jack Quaid. I will admit, I was very excited about that, and then like it was debunked, and then he was like, no, JQ, Joseph Quinn, whatever. I would have loved Jack. Joseph Quinn, I like the idea. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think he was great as Eddie on Stranger Things. I think for such a small amount of time being on screen, he was probably the most iconic, maybe Alexi, but he's like the most iconic side character on Stranger Things. I mean, say what you want about Barb, Bob, or the others, but he's like the most iconic, like, new character in the whole entire series.
Yeah.
And I think to have that charm and magnetism, he can bring that to Johnny Storm. And he's what, roughly 5 or 6 years older than Holland. So like they can have a little bit of chemistry together. I think it could work if he brings that same chemistry he did with Eddie. I think
now that you mention it, like the Eddie Dustin dynamic, I can see it now, and that would be pretty cool.
And Spider-Man kind of
Johnny and Peter Parker, they gotta be homies. They gotta be buds.
Yeah,
and I can see that. Okay, but honestly, the White Widow herself, I'm hyped. I think this is spot on. I love it, and I think Vanessa Kirby deserves it.
That's a good. Yeah,
she doesn't get enough recognition. What about you, Chris? How do you feel about these rumors, man?
When she was on the short list, when all the other names were swirling around and all the offers were made and then rejected, I don't know. I liked her. This was before Mission Impossible 7 came out, and I was reminded how awesome she is. I think she was in Hobbs and Shaw. Wasn't she Shaw's sister?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. The second I saw her face, I was like, oh, I like her. I wish they would. And I'm kind of glad that I'm not saying I'm glad that those offers that were to the other actresses that fell through. I mean, they probably would have crushed it too. But I'm hoping that this is true, because she was, when I saw her as a possibility, I was hoping that she would get it. I feel like she fit. But as far as Joseph Quinn, I don't know if it was Joseph or if it was Jack, but I swear for 3 days straight, it was either Joseph or Jack, but one of them were rumored to be not only Johnny Storm. Then I saw another post where he was rumored to be the Thing. Then another post that he was rumored to be Mr. Fantastic. Maybe it was Jack, but those people were running the whole roster that he's one of the three, one of them. But I was like,
these rumors get wild, man.
Just from like recent memory, I'm remembering Adam Driver as Reed Richards. At one point, Paul Mescal was like cast as Johnny Storm. I'm just like, what's going on? Margot Robbie was like the front runner.
Margot Robbie was for you.
Which, I mean, she's already been Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
She's Barbie. I'm like, all right, do we need her to be Sue Storm? I don't think so. I do agree with you, Chris. I really like Vanessa Kirby out of the names that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's time for her to get a big franchise. Listen, Mission Impossible, fine, but like I think this is even better suited for her acting skills. And
what about the rumors? What about the rumor that the movie could be focused or centered around her character? Now I heard that it might be centered focused on the Sue Storm character, not the family. Of course, it's gonna be focused on the family, but people are saying that the rumors are that she's going to be the center focus. Mm-hmm. And of course, on the comment section, every time that was posted, was it the Joker who said that? And everybody loses their minds, So because then everybody starts talking about the MCU and all that stuff. I'm like, look,
I'm so tired.
If I remember correctly, because I've never bought a Fantastic Four comic book, or I wasn't a collector of those comic books, but I remember seeing I think around the time that they had the Incredible Hulk animated series, and then they had a Fantastic Four animated series around the same time. If I'm not mistaken, when Sue Storm is like maybe when has she ever been like a villain or a threat? Like, isn't she one of the most dangerous characters out there? I mean, am I mistaken? Am I remembering that correctly? Couldn't she put a force field in your brain
and make it expand? Yeah, she could
So I'm like, are we gonna have another Wanda kind of moment? Are we gonna have a what is it from X-Men?
Jean Grey, Phoenix.
Are we gonna have maybe that's gonna be what's gonna happen? Maybe she's gonna go to the dark side a little bit. I don't know. Either way, I wouldn't be upset with it at all. I like Vanessa Kirby. I think she can crush it. I don't know if that rumor is true, but I doubt. I think it's gonna be like a family, like the way how they handle Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're gonna give every character their screen time and development. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna maybe center on the family, but if it is, this is fantastic. I'm down for that because some of the Sue Storm comics are like great, so I'm down for it. They also think like apparently the dude from the Bear, not the main character, not Carmi, but his cousin Richard.
Yeah,
Richie.
I heard. Yeah, he
He's
was
gonna be
rumored
Ben,
to be the
apparently.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
the thing. Yeah, so I guess he's gonna be the thing. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I kind of like him in that role. I'm like, all right, kind of this kind of bigger Ophi-ish kind of character. I'm down.
Yeah, no notes. I loved him in The Punisher. I loved him in that one as well.
Oh my god, I forgot he was in the.
He was the guy in the chair, baby. I love it. Loved him.
He was so good.
He was great.
Man, see, I got to catch up on the Bear, y'all. I heard nothing but good things about the Bears.
I'm only on episode 2.
I finally made it to that first season, man. It is stressful. It is high pressure, but man, it is a great series.
But it was
well
delicious.
acted, funny. Yes, delicious. Makes me want to cook. It's phenomenal, honestly.
But yeah, y'all, that about rounds us up. I'm rooting for Vanessa Kirby. We'll see what happens.
We got Tyler saying, just wrap this up so we can move on with the Fantastic Four casting for real. Because is this like the most documented casting in history?
Oh yes, I agree with that 100%. You're right.
Every single little.
Remember when the Flash kept having his issues with directors coming and going? It feels kind of like that. Like every time a director was announced, it was they're gone. The grand opening, grand closing. So I don't know.
It's like, can we just grand close already? Cast these 4? We already have our Superman legacy cast. It's like, come on, can we just cast the Fantastic Four? We got Joe San saying John Krasinski will be a good Mr. Fantastic still.
Yeah,
I kind of disagree. I think it kind of felt fan servicey. I think if the fans didn't want it so much, maybe I could see it a little more. But
I feel like at this point, if they can't keep anybody, you might as well go, hey, John, look, hey, I know we said it was a one-time thing, but then he'll feel that scorned lover. It was like, no, you broke up with me. Now, now I want, the more on the prenup, No, I think he'll negotiate something.
Just like, remember we said that one thing we wanted you to do for us? Well, one thing turned into a few more.
Yeah. To be honest, though, if we go a whole different route, though, I wouldn't mind it either. I mean, let's get some new faces, get some fresh blood in here,
Yeah.
Let's make it happen finally, though. Let's finally make it happen. But all right, guys, we're moving on to our next segment here. Got movies of the week with Leo here to join us. Guys, this week we are going to talk a little bit of TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, the hip-hop blasting, Seth Rogen produced, Jeff Rowe directed, new TMNT movie that just dropped this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. What was up with them not dropping it on Friday? What a weird decision. But dropping in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. TMNT Mutant Mayhem with a teenage cast to voice the Turtles this time. Yes, it's not some full-grown ass adults this time. We got a full cast of teenagers here with iconic voices from Ice Cube to Jackie Chan and so many more. I mean, Maya Rudolph's in this thing, guys. Paul Rudd. Anybody who's like been a iconic voice, name them off. They're probably
John Cena.
John Cena's in it. Seth Rogen himself is in it.
I didn't see
Rocksteady.
I didn't see John Cena.
Right. Didn't see him. He wasn't there. But guys, TMNT Mutant Mayhem just dropped this weekend. Well, I'm sorry, this Wednesday, and is now playing this weekend. I'm gonna go to the bigger Turtle fan of the duo hosts here. I'm gonna go to him first. I'm gonna go to you, Lo, man. What did you think about Mutant Mayhem? Just dropped. What did you think, man? As a Turtles fan,
man.
Like you were the Turtles super fan here.
Well, going back to SDCC, I was floored when they showed us the opening 20 minutes, and I just like the way they did the origin story with Jackie Chan telling the story like like you were the first things that didn't want to eat or kill me, and I was just like, I love that. And then like the turtle, like he growled at the turtle, and the turtle was like rubbing his head on him, and then he was like, you boys are all I have, and you boys are all, no, he said, you boys are all I got, and you're all I'll ever have. And it's like that, if that isn't the most straight up parental child type of like bond and feeling, like that is what every parent should be striving to feel and to be, and that was encapsulated by a freaking rat voiced by Jackie Chan. And I gotta highlight on top of that, because that sequence is probably my second favorite sequence in the entire film. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, man, just wonderkins with the score, the drums, the synths, just so heartwarming on the tail, but also really adrenaline pumping on the fight scenes. I can't believe Reznor Ross did the Turtle score. So that's 10 out of 10 for me on the score. Of course, the kids had such great chemistry. They were so funny together. They're so goofy, but they were also really earnest too. I really liked them sitting in the bed on their cell phones, like, hey guys, like, what would you do if you could go to high school? Like, that's like such a natural sleepover talk. If you ever like hang out at your boy's house, play video games all night, and you guys just talk about random stuff, talk about life. And I thought that was a very natural way to present the turtles, and I thought that was a good way to show their humanity of sorts as turtles. So, and of course, this whole epic cast, when we finally get the Mutant Mayhem, oh man, it's just such a party. Paul Rudd as Mondo low-key steals the show. We got Post Malone singing.
That's my vibe, bro. I'm a hugger, bro.
yeah, Mondo, and then Post Malone's over here like, I just want to sing, you know. And then we got Rose Byrne. I think she was the Bat, right? She was like the Bat.
Yeah, she was that crazy Bat.
And then Kate McKinnon was the freaking Crikey, the Leatherhead Croc. And oh man, it's just such a fun group. And obviously, like, Spider-Verse and style visuals.
Kate McKinnon, or is it Rose Byrne? Is it Rose?
I think Rose Byrne was the Bat, if I wasn't mistaken.
I'm like, looking at the cast right now. It says
Rose
Leatherhead.
Byrne is Leatherhead.
Oh, Byrne was Leatherhead?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm mistaken. I mixed up the two. But it's such a fun cast, and obviously the visuals just pop. It looks like some kids were sketching in a notebook, and it just feels like paintings come to life, especially that money shot when they're looking down and you look up, they got the white eyes. It's literally like the Laird Eastman comic come to life in that shot.
So good, so good.
And honestly, as a Turtle fan, I saw it twice. It was even better the second time. I had a wonderful time. It was just a blast from start to finish. It was a great adventure. And honestly, I need more families to come out and see this. I need the Turtles to be supported. They need to have the summer of their, the franchise's lives here. So I'm rooting for it. We'll see though.
Man, Mutant Mayhem, what I think it does best is it actually captures the Turtles having a teenage problem of not being accepted. Like, I was like, all right, this is the first movie really, even Rise of the TMNT, it's a little bit more kind of like hyperactive and a little more adventure time in its energy, but this deals with like a teenage problem of not being accepted. And I'm like, all right, I feel like none of the Turtles stuff deals with a problem like that. Like, it's always kind of like, oh, we've got the surface level to protect or what have you. But I love that this deals with actual teenagers who just want to be accepted. Like, it's just these turtle mutant kids who want to go to high school. They want to go to high school. They want to have girlfriends. They want to join like wrestling club. And like, it's just a cool story to follow. And I love that Leo's doesn't start out as like the secure, confident leader that he mostly is in these other series. Yeah. I like that he has to learn how to be the effective leader for these turtles. And we follow those stories similarly in like the 07 movie and some of the others, like following Leo how to be a leader, but he's not this like confident, like secure in himself character yet in the beginning. And I like following that version of Leo through this arc, similar to Rise of the TMNT, where he's like not the leader until the end of the series. But I like that arc a lot. I like that the other turtles get a nice character arc as well. My favorite scene in the movie is absolutely that fighting montage with No Diggity. That's easily like my favorite, one of my favorite scenes of the year. I was like, they're just running through and it's just cutting through between every turtle. That was like so beautifully done that like, once that's on Blu-ray, I'm going to be like pausing, rewinding like crazy. Happy Sunday, Rhea. It's so good to see you.
What's up, Rhea?
A little while. What's going on? Good to see you. But yeah, man, I love Mutant Mayhem. Chris, what did you think, bro? It was
everything that you guys said and more. I give my for me rating was, I think it was a B minus. I gave it a solid B minus. I love the movie. The only criticism, I love the way what they did with April O'Neil as well. The that awkwardness between Leo and April was funny. I loved it. I adored that. The only criticism I had to give it, and of course, when I made my comment on my channel, I was a commenter told me that why I was wrong, because the Splinter origin. I love the origin story that was given to us in the animated cartoon in the 80s, and then when they made the movie, they like I'm sorry, where it was Splinter was a man who then became mutated. He was a ninja master who was mutated into a rat. I love that versus the rat who becomes a ninja master, because I think even in the Michael Bay version, he was just what, a regular rat, and then it gets mutated, and all of a sudden you're a ninja. I don't know why. I just don't like it. And then I was told, well, in the original comic books, that's how it was. Oh, I get it. I love the fact that Jackie Chan voiced Splinter, but for me that would make sense to why if he was a ninja master mutated into a rat, because if he was just a regular New York rat, I was like, I started nitpicking where I had to even check myself. Where it was like I had to ask friends of mine, because I'm not a part of the community. I was like, did that? Did you pick up on that? Did that bother? And like, no, they didn't bother a friend of mine or not. But I don't know why. I just have a problem with about ninjas. I have a problem with rats turning into ninjas. I want the ninja to be mutated and to become a rat. I like that one better. That was my only little nitpick on everything else. I love it, but I just wish. I have a theory that Splinter lied about his origin. I'm just hoping. I have a theory that he was a man, and just because we did get a post credit. We got a post credit, and I love it when there is a better tie-in with a certain villain to Splinter. I love that in those stories. It happened in the animation. It happened in the first movie. And I kind of like that connection. Even if it was a pet rat who was mimicking martial arts in a cage, at least that kind of explains where the martial arts came from. But really, come on, you're watching a VHS tape and all of a sudden you're a ninja? Come on.
I mean, but I love that. Like, he pops in the Bruce Lee tape and it's like, yes, like,
yeah, no, it was also it was the Shaolin 36 chambers. Like, they were watching it all, man. The Shaw brothers.
But you know what that reminded me of? I love a movie called, have you ever seen Chocolate? There's a movie called Chocolate where it was a young girl, and I forgot, she was like mentally challenged, but the way she took in information was outstanding. And she would just her and her mother lived next door to a martial arts school, and she would just watch, and she would absorb the information. A brutal martial arts master by the end of by the first act of the movie. I was like, wow, like, so stuff. So I there's moments where something like that in the movie is I can accept it, but I don't know. I just don't know why when I can't do it with Master Splinter. I want Master Splinter to be a ninja turned rat. I don't know why.
In the movies, the 03 series, the comics, and I think maybe they're teasing it in this one. He is the rat, the pet rat of Hamato Yoshi.
Well, only in the movie.
87. Yeah. So in the 87, but in the 03 series, that's the same thing. But in the 87, the 2012, and Rise, he is Hamato Yoshi.
Turned into a rat.
Turned into a rat. So I there's like two different, and I think you're right. Actually, I'm with you.
I think they said I heard in the comic book he was a rat turned into a
and I think
he was never a man.
And I think in this one it's gonna be the rat. I think he's gonna maybe in the next one he left out a detail that he was the pet rat of Hamato Yoshi.
Yeah.
So that would be cool tying that in. But I don't know. I think I kind of liked like a more laid back approach to it this time of just like, hey, we looked up YouTube videos and like learned karate that way. Like it's kind of like a modern take. Of
because that's what kids do. We all did it. We saw the Ninja Turtles movies, and then we got like sticks and went out and accidentally hit our little brothers over the head and got in trouble by our parents.
Period.
We did. We all did it.
Hey, to Chris's point though, I actually really like Splinter having a rivalry with Shredder. So I hope that maybe they expand on that. Like,
I was like, I think
with
we could.
Shredder.
yeah, at least
yeah.
I hope that's my theory. I'm hoping he's lying because he was trying to protect his boys, and I hope he's lying about his past. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not.
And you know that would also explain why he sounds like Jackie Chan. Because why doesn't he sound like a New Yorker, right?
I said I said the same thing. I'm like, why aren't they the Teenage Mutant, boxing turtles? Because I'm like, they're from New York or something like that's why I said maybe he was if he was a rat that got mutated into a ninja master. Maybe I was like, well, maybe he frequent a dojo a lot when he was just a regular rat. Maybe something. Give me something. I mean, even the rat in the cage mimicking Hamato Yoshi was a stretch, but I bought it. I liked it.
At least he's not sitting up in that train window like he was in TMNT 3. He was up in that train window for like 90% of the movie, y'all. He's up in that little window.
Didn't he have like a lampshade on his head or some shit?
Oh, yeah.
I just remember him up in that little window, and I was like, what are they going to pull up and order some tacos from him or something? He up in that little window the whole movie, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
They was trying to hide the animatronics and all that. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, the third one has a lot of problems.
Yeah. I always liked Cowabunga.
Different voice actor and all.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that was it. That was my only pet peeve with it. But other than that, an outstanding movie. I loved Ice Cube. 6 in the morning, police at my door. All those little rap moments. I loved it. So I had a lot of fun with it. I was afraid that it would make me feel like I was looking at a ripoff of Into the Spider-Verse, but I understood the style, the art style. They were taking it, like you're saying, like out of a sketchbook or right out of the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
They were. There was one character with the lady with the way her neck was. It was so weird. I was like, that's right out of like a comic strip, like art styles and comic. This is a comic book brought to life. I loved it. I could tell what they were doing. So no, it didn't make me feel like I was watching Spider-Verse at all. It was its own original thing.
Same. And I think that's something that it can pride itself on, as having an original feeling, fresh animation style. Because I think the trailers made it seem like it was kind of like Spider-Verse, and it took a lot of different moments from the movies that felt that way. But like, no, it's got its own unique sketched out style to where some of the frames look unfinished almost, kind of like Mirage comics. So I love that it's like a sketched out watercolor painting brought to life. Like, it feels cool. Yeah. Also, did you guys catch that Maya Rudolph's character was Cynthia Outram? So I'm wondering if they're going to introduce the pink brain in the next, like, does she have like a pink brain inside of her for the next movies? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Also, you know what I caught was the news reporter at the end. She mentioned them as the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And I thought that was brilliant because have you heard about that? In Britain, they weren't allowed to use ninja.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you look at these shirts in Britain, it doesn't say Ninja Turtles, it's Hero Turtles, and they changed the theme song. So it's like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. It sounds so weird. Like,
why couldn't they use Ninja?
Ask Great Britain, man. They were being weird about ninja.
I mean, they probably didn't want to keep getting in trouble for all these centuries of stealing other people's cultures and stuff, and so they probably would just leave the ninjas alone.
But hey, look it up, Leo. It's actually really funny. Like, if you look, you could see marketing of this same logo, but it says Hero Turtle. Is so weird.
I didn't know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was an amalgam of all these things in comic books. Teenage, the Teen Titans, Mutant, the X-Men, Ninja, Daredevil, and then
Daredevil.
I don't know where Turtles came from, but I mean that's awesome.
Splinter is like Stick, like a complete rip-off of Stick from Daredevil.
Yeah. Oh, the Foot Clan is from the Hand.
The Hand. So TMNT is like a straight up Daredevil rip in the Mirage comics.
I love it. Yeah.
This is crazy. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. That's the first time I've seen
it. You see it? You found it? Yes.
Why,
Let
England?
me share that real quick because I was like, wait, I got to look this up. I didn't know that this even existed.
The country that spells color with the U. I mean, come on. What do you expect?
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I'm like, what?
Hey,
So if you know what I mean, you go to the UK talking about Ninja Turtles, they'll be like, "What?
What? The Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, ninjas in a half shell."
Right, like
it's all backwards.
right.
That took me a second. I was like,
in a half shell.
I was like, he's like, aha.
Oh man. Well, we already answered this one, Joe-san, but Leo here and Donnie for the other team.
Yeah.
You got that Donnie
my
figure.
boy.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it came
Is that
with
the Mutant Mayhem version?
Yeah.
It came with the popcorn tin and the mask that I was wearing.
Mm.
So it came with this, and then it came with this bad boy. Got the sewer on the top, and then the
Oh, it's awesome.
That's
and then
tight,
on the
man.
inside it has like artwork too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this thing's pretty rad.
Okay, I'm gonna need to cop one of them.
There you go.
Ooh.
That's a popcorn
Yeah, popcorn tin.
Now hold on, that don't look like it fit nothing more than a small though. I'm gonna need them to give me a large popcorn tin because you know that thing $30. So I'm gonna need them to.
Well, to be
give me
honest,
the
I ain't
extra
put.
large.
I'm not gonna put popcorn in there. It's just for display, you know.
He said, "You ain't gonna get that butter on my Donatello."
All right, Lo, you want to talk about our WTF moment of the week, bro?
Yeah, really quickly because it's just hilarious.
Let us know.
Oh, you want me to present it?
What is that WTF moment of the week? Just let us know, man. It's
all right, man.
Right
every week we got our what's WTF, what the F moment. Lin-Manuel Miranda said he's working on a musical based on the 1979 cult action thriller The Warriors. And if any of you guys remember The Warriors, it was a bunch of crazy like gangs that got into a gang war. This one gang is trying to get on the other side of the city to avenge the murder of their leader. And it's a crazy action thriller, very campy, very, very 70s, but I love it. It's near and dear to my heart. I don't know how I feel about it being a musical. It might come off more West Side Story and it might come off kind of corny with the gang war, but Lin-Manuel Miranda might surprise me. So we'll see. I like In the Heights, I like Hamilton's pretty cool. So we'll see. But it's still
they're gonna be grabbing each other and dancing around with them little knives and
man, what's that Michael Jackson video? Is that Beat It?
Beat it, yeah.
Beat it,
You know, it's like it's like, yo, what are y'all fighting or what?
Oh my goodness, Beat It. Rewatch that video. There is one dude that was on a little bit to the left on the screen who was not a dancer at all. Off beat. I never for 40 years never caught it. But this
I've seen that.
I've seen that dude.
You can't see it. Michael totally disappears. That guy is all by himself.
I can't believe they let that happen. It's like the stormtrooper in Star Wars. Like,
so we at least know that the Warriors movie will be better than that, at least, right?
Be better choreographed than that man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, man. If they turn that into a song, like "Can you dig it?" Like I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, what was that the line? Warriors come out to play, and then Manuel comes out of nowhere. We're the Warriors. I'm not here to bore you. I'm gonna destroy you. Dropping the bars, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm thinking
I don't know. Maybe it might be hot.
Oh man, we'll see. And also, we gotta check those character designs because as much as I like the movie, some of those character designs are crazy. Like there's a baseball gang. Mm-hmm. And their faces are all like painted like a baseball.
Yeah, like we got like some of that stuff need to be changed up in modern.
Yeah,
movies.
like it's really, really bonkers. So just we'll see. I mean, I like Lin, so
honestly, it's one of those things where does everything gotta be a musical, Lin? Like, can't you just come in and do the music for a remake?
I love the Scuttlebutt song on
Me too, man.
We do too.
Scuttlebutt, the gossip, the buzz, who does that? Yeah, the Scuttlebutt. I'll tell you. That's what that Scuttlebutt.
Right there with the Warriors. I want another Scuttlebutt. Yeah, come on, bring it.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think though, Chris? Do you think that it could be effective, like redoing some like cult classics and making them into musicals?
Well, when we were talking about it, we were talking a little bit about it before we went live, but at the very least, I don't get mad when things get remade. I don't think that there's nothing that's above being remade. I've never seen the original Warriors movie, so this might be the time when I have to catch up and see it. I think that at the very least, it might be a complete disaster. Maybe it'd be the one thing that Mr. Manuel will be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have did that. Or it could have been, it could be magic. It could be like I mean, when all the gangs from New York, you know, and they're gonna upgrade them. Like we're gonna have the hashtag gang, and then we're gonna have the twerking gang or something like that. It'll be an upgrade. I mean,
yeah,
Warriors.
kind of modernize it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Social media boys or something. I don't know.
I can see that though. I can see the vision. I can see the vision.
Instead of saying come out and play, he's just you can send, and then you hear whoop, and that's it. And then the fight starts. It'd be great.
It's kind of like them redoing White Man Can't Jump. I feel like let's just leave it alone.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Or like House Party, like that did not need a remake. Like,
oh man, yeah.
Like, come on, man. We don't need to go. We don't need to do that.
Don't
mess with the black classics, please.
I feel so bad for Kid and Play, man. Like, what the hell?
Hey, they said it ain't gonna hurt nobody. They were wrong.
Right. Because it hurt us all. Let's be honest. Oh my goodness. But Chris, it has been a pleasure having you on, man. Yeah. Please let the people know where they can find you, man. Awesome. What's coming up on T3Media Studios, and let them know where they can find you.
Awesome. On my channel at T3Media Studios, you can always find the latest on reactions. We do movie reviews. We do the Rundown live show Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So check that out on our channel. We love talking with the community. Every time you guys send a message, I get a rush. I love talking with you guys about your favorite movies and everything that's out there. So come check us out at T3 Media Studios on all the social medias. Hey, and even if you want to say, hey, Chris, I don't like your takes on things and I hate your punchable face. If you like it, I love it. Come check us out. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for appearing on the channel, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
I'm so glad because we've been talking about it for a couple months. I'm like, we gotta get this man on the channel. Yeah. I'm so glad we got you on, man. Thank you.
I was stood up and left in the rain. You didn't think I was going to bring it up.
We made you dinner this time. Yeah, we made you dinner this time.
Oh man, this was a great meal. I loved it. You made it up. It's all forgiven. I love you. I love you guys. Appreciate it.
We love you. Well, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up.
As always, you can follow me on Twitter, Letterboxd, at Marcellus Durden. I'm a proud editor, critic, writer, reviewer for Cinema Spot. Check us out on all socials at the Cinema Spot. The writer's block is beating me up like Shredder was beating up the turtles in the rooftops, guys. But I do have a review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem coming up. That's something that I am going to finish. I'm demanding it out of myself. We also have a new review for, I think we have one for the Meg and Gran Turismo. So check that out at thecinemasspot.com.
Guys, check out these wonderful creators on their platforms, y'all. They're pumping out some amazing content, so be sure to follow them. And hey, if it's your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and head on over to the main channel at Geekly Goods. We got some stuff coming up this week. My Adventures of Superman, finally going to get that episode out probably either Monday or Tuesday. And we got some more content planned for the week as well, so stay tuned for that, guys. And y'all, come on back here, same time, same place next Sunday. We'll be talking the latest in movie news once more. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button, and y'all, we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.